He wasn't a fan of that. He was not a fan. And he's out of here. The moment I start talking on stream, he's done. Like, you guys just saw that. He wanders around my desk. If I'm over here working on some other shit, he's over here pestering me. The moment I start talking on stream, he's gone. But if I'm over here talking on the phone, he'll hang out. It's the weirdest thing. Why do you think he's like that? Who raised him that way? And, you know, he's also antsy because we didn't have our what I call father-son chess time. I mentioned this before. Every morning I wake up, Finn's laying next to me. Well, sometimes he heads out to the living room over the course of the night. But most times he's laying next to me. I wake up. He sees my eyes open. He's perched over me, watching me. He sees my eyes open. Boom, it's go time. Hops up on my chest. We cuddle for a little bit. And then about 5 minutes in, I start getting annoying, and then he starts getting annoyed. You know, I start picking him up. I start making him dance. I start patting him around. And he's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. SciFin is the channel we all need. I would love to have a Fin cam. The problem is he's never in like one specific place. So I don't know where the fuck the Fin cam would go. Do you believe in reincarnation? Wow, we're starting off. I mean, we're going spiritual and philosophical with this one to start off the stream. My stance on all of this stuff. My stance with all of this stuff. Reincarnation, afterlife. I have no idea. Nobody knows. So I don't dismiss any possible idea. So just try to live your life the best way you think it is. If you think there is something in the afterlife, a sort of karmic afterlife, then live your life the way that you think is best. It's starting to rain really hard outside. So there could be a power outage situation. I'm just letting you know. Spiritual fence riding centrist. I mean, look, nobody knows. You know, like who am I to dismiss any possibility? Like, personally, you want to know something? I think, honestly, I really do think this. The idea that it just fades to black and then nothing ever happens again is almost as on the level of being sort of ridiculous as there being something afterwards. Personally, that's how I feel. I'm here for the laughs, not the existential crises. True. Supposedly some gnarly hail coming to the Dallas area. All right. Those of you who live in the Dallas area, tell me if I'm wrong. Has the wind not been preposterous? Like, is this not been? I feel like every single weather in Dallas is crazy. So I feel like every summer, it's like, God damn, does it get this hot? Like, I feel like by the end of July and in August, every summer, like, is it usually this fucking hot outside? Like, surely this is some type of record. I feel like every time the thunderstorm season gets here, we're like, damn, are the storms like this violent usually? Or is this like a new thing? And then we're always told, like, oh, no, it's pretty normal. This wind has just been a little crazy, though, huh? Like, don't you think? Paul at the $2, you told me to tell you you are wrong. What's this in reference to? Weather gets increasingly awful every year. Probably a coincidence. Yeah, probably. Record heat waves around the world. Storms are worse than ever before. A record was about, I don't know, 2 to 3 once in a lifetime weather events a year. It's like guaranteed 30 to 40 mile per hour wind every day. Like, I have memories of playing basketball outside. So am I just tripping? Like, did I just imagine those, or were we just fucking going for it in the wind? Like, I don't. Can't see Duke not winning at all. Yeah, that's where I'm at with the tournament as well. It would be really shocking if Duke doesn't win the whole thing, but you never know. Hey, Nathan Evaldi. Hell of a start last night for the Rangers. Rangers bat's got to get going, man. You know, Marcus Simeon's really struggled, and I think the thing that concerns me most about him is he's not hitting the ball hard at all, right? Like, that's the thing with him that concerns me. I feel like his approach at the plate feels fine. It's just, it feels like, I made a good tweet, guys. I'm very proud of my baseball Twitter. SB Round at SB Round. I should really change that. How do you change your Twitter username? SB Round's not really cutting it. Edit profile. Is there a way to which you can do this? Can you not change your fucking username anymore? Confirm your password. Uh-oh. Username. Here we go. Slightly baseball. Tell me that's... Oh. That's too long. What about biased baseball? Biased baseball exists. Should I just change it to that? That's actually a pretty good username, honestly. I'm very surprised that hasn't been taken. I might sell that. Honestly, I might sell that to somebody. But I'm very proud of my my baseball Twitter. Because, you know, who's dropping heaters like this? I mean, guys, if you're a basketball fan, you better enjoy it while you can, right? If you're a basketball fan, you better enjoy it while you can, man. That's all I'll say. When John Boy Media comes knocking, see ya. You're gonna confess you're a Thunder lover? No, not yet. It's just been a slow start for Simeon. And like, what's the good website? And I get you have to do this. Good website, but like, we're at career low so far in barrel rate. Hard hit percentage. Around his average, actually. But my God, the ball just feels like it's fucking... Is there like any exit velocity data here? The ball just feels like it's barely leaving his bat. That's the problem. Dude, these stats are insane. Like, I have no clue what the hell I'm looking at. I have no clue what the hell I'm looking at. TLG with the $5. I do not enjoy the Thunder and hope they lose. Please clap. Oh, sorry, wrong one. I don't watch baseball. Someone tell me who's better, DeGrom or Evaldi. Well, DeGrom's one of the all-time best pitchers, right? I'm trying to think, what would DeGrom's NBA comp be? I don't even know if there's really a good one. Kawhi? But maybe if there was a world where Kawhi was at one point like undisputably the best player in the world, that would be kind of his comp. Embiid, that's actually probably a good one. Just in terms of performance. Like when he's out there, there's no denying he's one of the best, if not the best. So can the Mavs still get a top 5 or top 6 pick? Probably not. They'd have to get very lucky. Leote is Jaden Hardy? No, Leote, we decided this. Leote is Spencer Dinwiddie. Where realistically, if he's a depth option for you, really not bad at all. Ezekiel Duran is Jaden Hardy. That's the comp. All right. Cheers. I can't wait to be done with these fucking shit coffee pods. God. Ugh. Here we go. What's a word I really like starting with? There used to be a word, I forgot what it was, but there was a word that was like scientifically proven to be the best one. I like having 3 vowels out the gate. But for some reason, I also like a word like this. Actually, I like a word like this. Because I like knowing if there's an S. I like knowing if there's an H situation in the second word, in the second letter. An E at the end tells us a lot as well. And see, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Now we're starting to cook a little bit, and now we're starting to better understand what's happening here. Okay? Huh. I immediately thought rose, but that's a 4 fucking letter word. Chose? No. Froze? That's a Z, not an S. But right sort of headspace. I'm trying to think if the S is before the E. I want to get these as quickly as possible. Which S could be before the E. That does make some sense to me. What would be... Okay. I'm thinking about some of these options. I'm thinking about some of these options here. Okay. Is this a word? Okay. I just wanted to try it. It popped in my brain and I did not think it was a word. You never know. You never know some of these words, folks. You never know. This one's kind of hard. Like, I'm trying to think. This should pop into my head much easier. But I overthink these things. You guys know that. Whoa. All right. Okay. Is that a word? Like, and why do I put cruise instead of curse first? You know what I mean? Like, that's overthinking at its finest right there. That's overthinking at its finest. I mean, curse is such an easy word, but that word doesn't pop into my brain first. I'm thinking like these dumbass words. And I'm putting like French accents on them. Like, I don't understand why. I'm thinking these words in my head and I'm like, ooh, prose. Like, it's like, that's not a fucking word. Reading. Okay. Tennessee. Oh, God. Here we go. All right, let's think of some words that follow Tennessee. Tennessee whiskey? Is there maybe a whiskey option here? Fancy whiskey? I don't know if that's a thing. Hank? Tom Hanks? Venus. Robin Williams. Hank Williams? Herb Williams? Are these names? Tennessee Williams? Is that a name? Is there a Tennessee Williams out there? Like a country star I don't know about? I'm going out on a whim. I'm going out on a Venus. No. Whim, impulse. Have to be connected. But nothing else really makes sense there, though. Okay. Nice, kind. Nothing else really connected there either. Where did Tennessee and Venus fall into the equation here? Are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see. This one's hard. I'm not getting a read on any of these. Like, I'm honestly not getting a read on any of these. Like, Hank's throwing me off. That's a name. Like, that's a fucking name, right? So Hank, sometimes there's names that maybe we can, like Robin, name, but maybe it's the bird, right? But Hank is a name. Okay? So where are we going with Hank? I'm thinking Hank Aaron. Is this a Hank Aaron situation? Is this a Hank... Good Lord. This is a horrific guess. Let me just do it. One away, actually. Okay. Venus Williams, Hank Williams, Robin Williams, Herb Williams, or Tennessee Williams? One of the two. Yeah, okay. Who's Tennessee Williams? Am I missing something there? Got it. Got that. Took two guesses. I'm not, impulse, whim. How are those two not fucking connected? They have to be. Herb? Like, where are we going with Herb? Herb Jones? Is this a Herb Jones situation? Doesn't look like it. Fancy, like... Job. Shuffle. I'm going out on a whim. Bruh. Give me something. Give me something. Like, reading. I'm not getting a read on reading at all. Like, reading. Okay, I'm reading. Maybe I'm reading the situation. I'm reading a book. I'm sorting. Job. Things to do and during the day. Job. Reading. Type A. Personality. Sort A. Type shit. I'm about to just guess so we can move on with our lives, honestly. I have no fucking clue. I'm not... Like, type, fancy. Okay, how about this? It's like that. It's sort of like that. It's kind of like that. It's a type... I don't know. Okay. All right. I mean, this one should be easy, right? Like fancy, nice. Dude, there's like a second word that I'm missing with some of these, right? Like reading. What the fuck am I missing here? Getting pissed off, man. I really am. This could be a Herb Jones situation. Herb Jones, defensive minded. That's his job. He plays nice defense. And you really got to go out on a whim to try and score on him. One away. What the flying fuck are we doing here? What are we fucking doing here? Nice whim, Herb job. Nice job. Good job. Good, nice. No, that doesn't sound right. Nice whim. Fancy. I'm just going to do fancy instead of job, I think. Dude, what the hell? Words pronounced. Words pronounced differently as proper nouns. That's one of the dumbest ones we've gotten, right? Like, is that one of the dumbest ones? Yeah, what am I missing with reading?
Reading.
The only thing I'm thinking, the only thing I was just thinking, Slam Dunksville, is there is a town in England, Reading. No, I figure Nice. Job? Okay. No, the Reading spelling is the same as reading. Herb, okay. I mean, that one's crazy. That one's crazy. You see what I'm saying? And now, here's the thing. Here's the fucking problem, right? Now I'm going to be thrown off. Now I'm going to be Job from the Bible or from Arrested Development. Now I'm going to be thrown off for the next 3 to 4 to 5 connection games. Because now I'm thinking about stupid ass shit like this. You see what I'm saying? I mean, this one was just a pure and total guess. Okay, who's Tennessee Williams? And that name sounds familiar to me. Tennessee Williams. American playwright and screenwriter. All right, cool. Sick ass name, honestly. Honestly, incredibly sick name. Tennessee Williams. You ready for the White Lotus finale this weekend? I'm very ready. I'm very nervous and scared. How do we want to start today's show? We're going to talk about, obviously, the Russell Westbrook blunder from a night ago. I also have a confession. that I want to share with you guys. There's also some John Morant stuff. Like, we're getting some leakings, if you will, about that situation with Taylor Jenkins. No, it's not a Thunder fandom announcement. That's coming later. It's something else. I'm very intrigued by the John Morant stuff. I'm just telling you guys, watch this space with John Morant, okay? Watch this space. How about that kid Wyatt Bangford? Yeah, he's everything he hits hard. We'll start with our confession. Ja to Dallas. We'll start with our confession first and foremost. Switch game is going to be $80. My God. My Lord. Good morning, folks. It's Wednesday. It's April 2nd, 2025, 11:06 a.m. Central Standard Time. We've got a lot to go over today, except not really. We've got some stuff to go over today. We had an all-time blunder last night by Russell Westbrook, but believe it or not, I'm going to come to his defense a little tiny bit. I'm going to come to his defense. I also have a confession that I want to get off of my chest. I thought it would also kind of be fun because it would be a nice segue. Because, man, the Timberwolves Nuggets is like must-watch TV at this point in time. You just know you're going to get a crazy game. It makes me want to rank all of the potential first-round matchups because it feels like some of them are sort of almost locked in. But we'll rank it. We'll go through and we'll rank it as one big happy family. But I want to start here with a confession. And I want to bring up a Twitter thread because I feel like this Twitter thread actually helps me describe this better than anything else. It's from our guy, Bobby Corella. I've got some stuff to say, and I agree with him so much on a lot of this shit. Corella. So I said this following the infamous Luka Doncic trade. And look, I know some of you guys want to talk about it. And I know a lot of you guys don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to fucking talk about it anymore, being truthful and honest with you. And I've said in the following, right after the trade, that, you know, I'm still a basketball fan at the end of the day. I'll still tune in and watch all of the games, all of that, right? Now I have a confession. Something has changed. Something has fundamentally changed. Maybe you notice it on the channel. I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling in terms of coming to grips with the fact that I have no interest in the NBA currently. I'm being honest with you guys. It's really dawned on me the last couple of days. Bobby with the $10. It's your old friend Scott M. Dallas is dead. All of our teams, RIP. I'm really struggling because I did care and I was following. I was still watching the games. Let me first walk you guys through what my old process used to be, right? Because my old process, even back when the Mavs weren't that great, my old process would be this, and it's very strange too because a couple years ago when the Mavs were pooping and peeing in their pants en route to not making the play-in tournament. Was that embarrassing? Yes. Was I frustrated? Yes. I still watched a ton of NBA, right? Would tune into the Mavs, would laugh at them, would move on, and then watch other teams. And then I was geared up for the playoffs. Had a great time watching that postseason. This time is just really different. I don't know what it is necessarily. I think it's a mixture of different things, obviously stemming from the trade more than anything else. But let me walk you through what my old process used to be, right? Let me pause this because this is a little creepy. Let me walk you through what my old process used to be. I would wake up. Bobby with the $20. Bro, we're done. I'm done. No sports. I'm getting women pregnant and going to church. Okay. Congratulations on the sex part of that. Thank you. Have fun. And I wish you the best of luck in those endeavors. But anyways, as I was saying, my go-to sort of my the way that I watched the games was usually I would do something else till about 8 or so, Central Standard Time, assuming the Mavs weren't playing. If the Mavs were playing, I'm watching them, obviously. But if the Mavs weren't playing, about 8 o'clock or so, I would open up NBA. I would look at all the games. I was like, okay, this game that started at 6 is coming down to the wire. Let's see how they got there. Would click it, would watch from beginning, zoom through all the timeouts, whatever. And honestly, by the end, I would get to the point where the game was pretty much over. Bobby with the 50. Damn, Bobby. End of days. Bobby's going through an existential crisis right now. And I'm benefiting from it. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we're getting women pregnant. Like, we're dropping stacks at the Slightly Delusional Club. Shout out to Bobby, a.k.a. Scott. Or Scott, a.k.a. Bobby. So I would do that. I would watch the 6 o'clock game, boom, and then that would end. And then I would do the same thing for another game over the course of the night I thought was interesting, or another result I thought was interesting, or whatever late game was on if it was down to the wire. Then I would wake up the next morning and I would go back and watch another game I missed. So over the course of like a normal NBA night, I'd probably watch 3 or 4 games. 3 or 4 games, and if the Mavs are playing, maybe just 2, including the Mavs game, for obvious reasons, right? And I loved it. I fucking loved it. Then I'm not sure what exactly it is because the trade happened, and honestly, I watched a little bit less, but I still watched. I still tuned in. Over the last couple weeks, I'm like really struggling to muster up the courage, and especially since baseball started. I don't know what it is. I've watched the Rangers over any NBA game. I've watched the Rangers over any NBA game. Saturday night, didn't stream. Had a dinner with some family, then met up with some friends afterwards to watch the Tech game. The Mavs game starts. We're at a bar. I didn't pay a single fucking ounce of attention towards the Mavs game. Honestly, I had no clue what happened in the Mavs Bulls game. And usually, I'd go back the next day and watch it. Didn't really care to whatsoever. It's really kind of concerning me, straight up. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's really kind of concerning me. I don't like, here's what Bobby said. And I don't like pretty much anything about what's happening in that organization these days. Almost none of it. It bums me out. History doesn't matter. The future doesn't matter. Fans feeling don't matter. Communication doesn't matter. Everyone just being cool and normal doesn't matter. Wins don't matter. Losses don't really matter either. The only thing I've ever wanted, this one right here really resonated with me. The only thing I've ever wanted to do in my career is try to help people enjoy basketball. Basketball is fun. It's awesome. Almost nothing right now, though, is fun or awesome around here. Everyone is annoyed, angry over it. Very scary stuff. The showcase erasure thing hits very close to home for me. I don't even know what this is in reference to. A big part of my job for a decade was preserving, sharing, chronicling that organization's history from even before its founding to things y'all still haven't experienced yet. Was an enormous personal cause for me, still is. Oh. Is this about the practice facility thing? Getting rid of all the Lucas stuff from the practice facility? All right, that's neither here nor there for me. But this point right here is so true. Is I always liked, I always liked coming on here, and we like being positive and fun about the NBA, shitting on people who weren't being positive and fun about the NBA. The reality is I'm not having fun watching the NBA at all right now. I'm not having fun at all watching it. I'm just being honest with you guys. And that's not necessarily true because I had a blast watching the Nuggets Timberwolves game. But it honestly takes me to muster up courage to turn on the game. Like in years past, it's like, all right, that game's on. No questions asked. That's appointment viewing. But, I watched the movie last night. Social Network, fantastic movie. My first time ever watching it. Really fucking good movie. Fantastic movie. I gave it on my Letterboxd. I gave it a 4.5 star. Then it was like, all right, let me just, the movie, and I was like, let me just put on the Timberwolves Nuggets game. I'm happy I did because it was an incredible game. But I'm just like at this sort of existential crisis. And I don't know how much of it is, it's March. How much do I really want to tune into this team's dog shitters going up against this other team's dog shitters? Not really at all, right? And it's just, we're at this weird point, or I guess it's April now. We're at this weird point in the NBA season where we're just kind of waiting until the playoffs start at this point. There's definitely some things that can happen, some regular season results that can shift seeding and stuff like that. But by and large, we're just waiting to get to the playoffs. Playoff series will definitely bring me back in. Yes, I think they will bring me back in as well. And we'll be watching the playoffs. I am excited about the playoffs. When I think about the playoffs, I get exciting. I get an excited feeling. But I think a lot of it is too like this Mavs thing, the Luka trade. Like all of it just annoys the fuck out of me. All of it's just like beating me down almost, where it's just like, I really do hate talking about it. I hate the fact that for some reason, there's always something new to talk about. Tyler with the $5. This debacle has sucked all the life from my NBA love. I want to watch next season, but with this front office, no player team is worth getting attached to. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. I don't give a shit about this Mavs team, man. I'm sorry. I don't. I really respect how they've gone out and played. I respect how hard they've played. If they make the playoffs, obviously I'm going to root for them in the fucking playoffs, even though I think it'll be a very quick exit. But I don't really care. I'm sorry. And I feel bad saying that. Because again, the guys play hard and stuff like that. And I admire that. But we're watching the games in playback. We really don't. We're fucking around. We're on GeoGuessr half the time. I did get mad at the Nets game only because that was just horrific basketball. Like that was just an eyesore. Excited if D-Live come back. I mean, yeah, I'll be excited to watch Derek Lively, but I'm not like, I don't get the feelings I used to get, obviously. But I don't get those feelings about any basketball thing currently. That's what scares me. And it's just, I don't go online as much as I used to. And yeah, that's a good thing, right? But, when I'd go on Twitter or like Reddit every now and then, I would get like, oh man, like this fan base is pissed off about this. Like this fan base is excited about this. It would keep me in the know of things that were going on. Like you'd have to pay attention to certain teams' fan bases or reporting to really get. I don't really do that anymore. So I'm not like super plugged in with some of that stuff. I also hate that everything's so annoying about this whole thing. I have to be honest with you. I'm annoyed about the trade. I'm annoyed about any front office defenders that I come across. I'm annoyed at the people who have made like shitting on this trade endlessly their one personality trait. I get annoyed at the fact that we can't talk about anything really without people being annoying as shit about the trade. Like, I hate the fact that I can't be like, it annoys me. It does annoy me. This sounds stupid, but it does annoy me that I can't be like, hey guys, the Mavs like probably need to get a ball handler. And then the next 7 comments are like, just like a guy from the Lakers. It's like, yeah, a fucking course. Yes, of course. Right? Like that annoys me and bothers me. The hell did I just do? Yeah, Windows is going through it right now. Like that annoys the shit out of me. Like even when the Mavs, I tweet out Mavs 4-0 and AD plays, like having fun, and then people just be like, dude, fuck you, man. And it's just like, all right. Like I get like everything just annoys the shit out of me right now. And what sucks for me is I haven't like wanted to make a video in a long time. Like I like making videos. I love it. I haven't made a video in a long ass time. And I don't like want to make a video right now. Videos take a really long time for me to make. just be a Laker guy. But the problem is, like, if that to me was feasible, I probably would just do it. I would watch the Mavs. Don't get me wrong, but then I would just watch the Lakers off to the side. Hey, Windows, can you figure out what's going on here, please? Yeah, no one-word reactions. Like, I just don't. The Lakers stuff is interesting because it's like, I'm going to be real. I don't enjoy watching them. It's this weird feeling where I don't root against Luka. I don't root against LeBron. I'm rooting for both of those guys, right? Luka does something crazy. I'm like, oh, shit. LeBron does something crazy. I'm like, oh, shit. But I don't want them to win as a team. I do not want them to win as a team. Because I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. I don't think they deserve it. They do not deserve it. They didn't do any of the things that teams do to put themselves in a position. They didn't do shit. They've been a horrible-ass franchise, a horribly ran franchise for a long time, and they've just lucked out because they're the Lakers. That's it. Sorry. No. It's not their fault. I don't care if it's not their fault. I'm not rooting for them. Also, it annoys me that the most annoying people you know on the internet are like having a great time. That bothers me as a hater. That annoys me. It's annoyed me like Locked On. When the fuck do you think the last time I looked at a Locked On Mavs comment section? Right? Locked On. We talk about the Luka trade too much. We don't talk about the Luka trade enough. Oh, you gotta shit on AD for. Well, how can you shit on AD for this? Like all of these different. It's just like gotten so annoying. It's just annoying, right? That's all. And it's not like the end of the world or anything like that. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is, right? Because we'll move on. We'll figure it out. Like, obviously, there's a burnout happening for me. And hopefully once the playoff starts, that'll be gone. I'm just saying, if you're wondering why, like, there's been no videos or anything like that, that's why. I haven't, like, felt it. And it's kind of sucked. And this tweet was just like, that's it. Basketball is just not very fun anymore. Hey, Melo's making the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Carmelo. First ballot Hall of Famer. No doubt about it. Just don't support OKC, please, slightly. So here's my thing and why I would feel even more emboldened on any potential OKC rooting for. You want to know what team I tune into and have a lot of fun watching? The Oklahoma City Thunder. You want to know what team I enjoy? And this is going to piss people off. I don't care. What team I enjoy turning on? What player I enjoy watching? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You want to know what team I look at? I'm like, man, they did such a great job, and they built the team, and they deserve it. The Oklahoma City Thunder. That's also why whenever I was like talking about teams I might root for, I threw the Celtics out, even though I will not root for the Celtics. I did throw the Celtics out because there is a respect there. Like, there's a respect. I watched them, and I'm like, God damn, they built a crazy ass team. Like, they've just done a great job. Like, you have to just respect it. You have to just respect it. Who other than Shea do you enjoy watching on OKC? I love Aaron Wiggins. I do like J-Dub quite a bit. And it's going to be, I mean, this postseason is going to be pretty big for him. I love watching Chet and Hardenstein. I've always been a Hardenstein fan. You can go back on in this channel's history to find that. I love Kawhi and Leonard. Sally needs to hit the DMT cart for enlightenment before the playoffs. Yeah, Lou Dort's annoying as hell. There's no two ways around that. I hate the Lakers. Always have. Always will. LeBron and Luka are two of my favorite players. I tried to watch, but just found myself hoping they lose. That's really what it is. It's like there's this Lakers. And it's funny because I didn't usually have it. I didn't mind the Lakers. It wasn't until this happened where I'm like, dude, fuck this team, man. Like, are you kidding me? And it's funny because we laugh at Lakers fans all the time. We always laugh at them. We always laugh at them for, we're going to get this guy. We're going to get this guy. We're going to trade this guy for this guy. We always laugh at them because they are delusional. They are. But this is just a lesson, right? Fortune favors the bold. And you know what? You should go through your life being delusional. Delusional people succeed a lot of the time. Like part of succeeding is being delusional, okay? What are you going to do? Stab me? Yeah, that's really what it is. So we make fun of him, and then it ends up it all pans out for him in the end. So who are we really making fun of? We're making fun of ourselves. Zach with the $10. Please do a pod with Andrew Schlett where he convinces you to be a Thunder fan for the playoffs. I've got some Thunder people that I'm thinking about contacting. I've got some other fan bases that I'm gonna contact as well. So basically, I'm saying all of that to say this, and ultimately, right? And I don't like talking about myself much. I don't like talking about, like when I say myself, like obviously talk about myself on my own stream a lot, but I'm saying talking about myself in the sense of what my feelings, right? Also, don't like to talk about the future of the channel or anything like that, is because it feels very strange to me. I feel narcissistic doing it. I think ultimately it's going to be a good thing in the long run. I do. Because I've wanted to change the format of videos for a long time. I've wanted them to be more long form. I've wanted them to be more evergreen, like more so like mini documentary types, right? And I think this is pushing me in that direction. Also, yeah, I mean, it's like this is the most I've cared about baseball ever, or not ever, but in a long time. Well, we'll do playoff streams and for sure. For sure. And I'm still, we're going to do probably day after streams. I think part of what will make me feel better, honestly, is when the Mavs get eliminated. Like, I think that will lock me back in, where I'll just be like, all right, we're good. Like, let's go. They're done. I don't have to worry about them anymore. I'm still going to do Locked On for sure. I love doing Locked On. Still going to watch every game. But anyways, that's what, uh-oh, my computer's frozen. That was my confession. Are you guys still in here? Not enough memory. Yikes. That was my confession. Would you even want to watch a Mavs OKC series? Oh, yeah, I'd watch a Mavs OKC series. I mean, they'd get their ass kicked. Like, make no mistake about it, bro. The Mavs would get their ass kicked in that series. Like, that would not be competitive. What do you think of Zach Lowe joining the Ringer, Bill Simmons super team? I think it's great. I haven't listened to that episode yet. And that's also part of the thing, too, is, not only would I watch NBA games, but then, all right, I'm going to go out, I'm going to go to the gym and stuff. I'm listening to probably an NBA podcast. I'm watching NBA YouTube videos about players, about teams. Like, I haven't done any of that, man. I haven't listened. Bill Simmons is the only basketball-related podcast I listen to still, honestly. I don't watch any real, like, YouTube videos anymore about basketball. Like, it's really kind of been a shame. And I feel like I just need to come to terms with it. That's why getting it off my chest. Getting it off my chest. Like, I haven't watched the mind. Like, you're out of your mind if you think I'm watching the fucking Mind of the Game pod. Like, you're actually out of your mind. You're out of your mind if you think I'm watching that. Lake Show 2025 retool. Big trade for Giannis. Braun resigns 2-year, $10 million. Extra cap space for Naz Reid. Resign Doe. Maybe some perimeter defense. Yeah, I mean, maybe you can get Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Like, who are some other marquee sort of mid-level guys? Get all of them to pair alongside with Giannis, LeBron on a discount, obviously. Luka, you convinced to sign an extension at a discount, of course. in the offseason. Like, yeah, why not? Of course, we need a center, so maybe we'll trade for a guy like, I don't know, maybe we can get Derek Lively for, Bronny. Like, maybe that's on it. If we can convince LeBron to okay a Bronny trade, maybe we can get Derek Lively for Bronny. Maybe we have to throw in a second-round pick. Maybe Şengün's on the table, like a Rui for Şengün swap. Maybe that's a possibility for us. Sabonis is on the table. Maybe there's a Vanderbilt for Sabonis angle we can attack. But, that's what it's all about in Lake Show land. That's what it's all about in Lake Show land. And you can't make fun of him anymore, and you can't laugh at him. That's what's really been the big pitfall of all of this. We can't even laugh at him anymore because they're right. They get like a 5 to 10 year grace period. We can't laugh at any preposterous Lakers fans' trade ideas because they will all happen. They will all happen. So we can't make fun of them. I feel like just making fun of them almost gives it the energy needed to happen. So anyways, I've got, I just wanted to get that off my chest. If you're wondering why, maybe we're an hour into the stream. We haven't talked about basketball yet. If you're wondering why, maybe on the streams have become a little bit more, we're just talking random shit, right? Talking about random stuff. If you're wondering why there haven't been as many videos, if you're wondering why you enter a playback stream and we're playing GeoGuessr, like that's why. Like that's why. But we'll see. I'm very confident I'll come around. I have fun content ideas lined up for the playoffs. I have fun content ideas lined up in general. I've got big things in the pipeline for the summer, actually. I know I say that, but this summer there's going to be some big things. There's a hat coming soon. Like, I don't want to share any of the details because I don't want you guys to fucking copy me, right? But there's a hat that should be coming out very soon, I hope. I'm working out all the details that I think's hilarious. Like, I think this hat's funny as hell. And it could turn me into a billionaire, right? Like, that's kind of where we're at. And I'm just kind of waiting for that to happen. Once that happens, we'll be good. I never liked LeBron. I hated the Lakers, but unfortunately, I love Luka. He's the player that made me fall in love with basketball so tough. I hate the Lakers, so I want him to succeed. It's funny because LeBron and Luka are two of my favorite players. So those two on a team together, yet it's just not clicking at all. I can't do it. You know what I mean? I cannot do it. Why do you hate the LeBron pod? You think I'm going to tune into the LeBron pod to hear him and Steve Nash talking about how crazy it is that he gets to play with Luka now? I'm not doing that shit. I'm not. I refuse to. It's also kind of annoying when I hear national media talk about it because I've heard all of the jokes from, Dallas fans, obviously. We've talked about it ad nauseum, and it's just like, I don't want to hear you talk about it now. You know what I mean? I've already dealt with it. I don't want to hear you make the same jokes that I've heard, Retina make on Twitter a million times. Like, that's where I'm at. It's like you want to root for them, but that inner yourself, it doesn't want to. And it's funny because anytime I tune into a Lakers game, I do think to myself, this is the one. Like this, maybe this is the one where it clicks. Maybe this is the one where it clicks and we're locked in and I'm like, okay, I've seen the vision. I've seen the vision. Do you think the Allisons have bot burners? No, I don't think they're online in any real significant capacity. I do not think they're online. And it's also, too, it's like some of the stuff we have to talk about, like, I don't want to talk about anymore. You know what I mean? Like, do I really want to talk about Mark Cuban, having another online meltdown? Not really. Do I really want to talk about, do I really want to talk about, another leak that comes out like, the front office says this? No, not fucking really. Do I really want to talk about, our guy MVP Luka, getting into it with the security guys again? Not like, I'm just tired of talking about all this shit. It just oppresses me. So it's like I had this video idea, and I still might do it, where I just kind of like fuck around and blame. I fuck around and I blame. If you become a billionaire, please buy the Mavs and bring Luka back. It's possible. It's possible. A funny video idea where I just like blame Dan Patrick for the trade. Did you already talk about the Nintendo Switch 2? I don't know much. What realistically is the Switch 2 going to be doing differently than the Switch 1? One of the big things about where Nintendo really fucked up was they made the Wii U, and it was like supposed to be this. It's supposed to be like this successor to the Wii, but I think most people, myself included at the time, just saw Wii U and thought it was kind of just like a Wii Pro type of thing, like an Xbox Pro, when in reality it was a completely different thing. Like it was its own completely different console. What's the difference between the Wii 1 and the Wii 2? Or the Switch 1 and the Switch 2? I just got the Switch this year too. I'm livid they're making another one. You get to play old games with built-in Discord. Built-in Discord? Is that really a big selling point for consoles nowadays? Built-in Discord? Zoomers love Discord. I was thinking about Zoomers today. How many Zoomers we got in the chat? Do we got any Generation Alpha in the chat? Like how like what are we talking in here? I was thinking about Zoomers today. I hope you guys are doing all right. I do. I worry about Zoomers, and I worry about Gen Alpha. I just worry about you guys. I don't know what I am. I'm 1997. I think you're a Zoomer. You're born in 2011. Oh, God. Really? I was just about to make fun of that, but then I looked and then realized it's 2025. Like, that's not that crazy. Like, I was definitely online at 14. Gen Alpha's all in school. True. If you're a Gen Alpha, I hope you're in school. Millennial gang rise up. Hell yeah, baby. Shout out to millennials. I just worry. I worry about you guys. I do. It's Gen X, yeah. Born in 2000, you're a Zoomer. I worry about you guys because I saw some stuff, and we're off the deep end again. I'm telling you guys, like I saw some stuff about the Adolescence show, which was a great show. A great show. But that they're going to show it in schools. Now, I don't know how true that is. Like, maybe I'm being a fucking boomer and buying into, like, dog shit sensational headlines. So you're a chill millennial because you're almost a Zoomer. You aren't cringe and not a true unk. Thank you. Are there really people in here that are like 20? Oh, yeah, there's probably people way younger than 20. All right, anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. Zoomers, I hope you guys are doing all right. Really, I do. I know it's hard. I know it's hard right now. I'm sorry, this age guy loves catching strays at him. Well, you got to realize when you're online, if you're in your upper 20s, you're old as fuck, right? Like upper 20s to probably mid 30s is like, whoa, you're old, dude. You are old. Once you get past mid 30s, then you're just kind of like past that stage. And it's just like, oh, yeah, that's our guy. Yeah, he's old. So what? Like 20 like 28 through like 35. It's like, whoa, my God, dude, you're old. But once you're like 36, it's like, oh, yeah, I mean, that's just our guy, right? Incendiary bomb. Shams Charania on Pat McAfee show. Oh, It's a really, really fucked up article yesterday by The Athletic that that girl from Ole Miss, that Ole Miss thing that Pat McAfee felt was important to talk about on his show. Super messed up. Anyways, Kevin Durant had serious mutual interest at February's deadline to be traded to the following teams: Timberwolves, Knicks, Rockets, Spurs, Heat. No Mavs mention. Okay. Keeping Knicks. Okay, interesting. What would that trade look like? That's actually interesting. I never really considered the Knicks. Heat are where I'm going to end up being at, I think. No one ever wants to come into my disgusting Nuggets. All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Russell Westbrook fiasco from last night. One, an incredible game, as you can expect anytime you tune into a Timberwolves and Nuggets game. You know it's going to be great. You know there's a likelihood that Rudy Gobert hits a fadeaway jumper to end your season. Like, there's a lot of shit going on. Russell Westbrook had a fiasco of a sequence. Jokic had 61, 11, and 10. I mean, let's just get to the sequence first and foremost that we're all talking about. One, good double team right here. Bad pass, steal. Russell Westbrook gets the steal. Look, I'm going to come out right away and defend the layup attempt. You got a fast break. It's 11 seconds left. You're up by 1. If you pull this ball out, what happens? You're already in the bonus. You pull this ball out right here. Well, you get fouled at 10 seconds left, and you got to shoot 2 free throws. Like Russell Westbrook, not the greatest free throw shooter, is shooting 2 free throws. Marcus Semien with an 89-mile-an-hour fly out, just swinging a pool noodle out there. Somebody get him a baseball bat. Hey guys, do you know Marcus Semien is not swinging a baseball bat? He's swinging a fucking pool noodle. They might not know that. I'm gonna defend the layup. That's a bunny, right? Like seriously. Sometimes you say, "Oh, that's a bunny," and it's like a bunny for an NBA player. This is like a high schooler makes this layup straight up, right? Like a high schooler makes this layup. So we're looking at the results of the missed layup and saying it's a horrible shot. He makes this layup. It's a 3-point game with 11 seconds left. You pat each other on the butt and let's go. Let's play defense, switch everything, don't foul. Like, you're good. We give up a layup, whatever. The Minnesota Timberwolves have 1 timeout left. You're feeling great. So I'm going to defend the layup attempt. Smokes it. Big fuck up. Now here's fuck up part 2. Lingering behind the play. Right? Upset that he missed the free throw. Here we go. Timberwolves aren't taking a timeout, which they shouldn't. Smart choice. Russ is now trailing the play. Has to sprint into it. You have Jokic applying pressure in the backcourt. That was smart play by Jokic. Because he sees Russ. Look, you can see. He sees Russ is trailing the play. He's got to put some ball pressure. Give Russ some time to get back into the play. All right, boom. Now we're scrambling. All right, you've gotten back. Not bad. Alexander Walker probably is going to miss that, honestly, if I had to guess. I mean, would have missed that because the foul, which, by the way, this is a clear and obvious foul, happened after he released the ball. He makes all 3 free throws, game over. So that was a clear and obvious foul, by the way. I saw people online. It's one of those plays where it's like, can I see a world where they don't call this a foul? Yeah, I can absolutely see a world where they show this clip and they're like, how the fuck do they not call this a foul? And then you have people in the replies that are like, oh, they're never calling that foul at that point in the game. And then it's like, oh, well, it is a foul, so they should call it. Like, that's a clear and obvious foul, right? Great at bat by Wyatt Langford. That's a clear and obvious foul. And it's just an all-time brain fart, all-time catastrophe, all-time horrible, awful sequence for Russell Westbrook. Absolutely. Locked on, I guess that was a terrible foul call. I mean, that's a clear and obvious foul. Right? Like, am I wrong? Like, that's a foul through and through. They showed the replay a million times. It was an obvious foul. So, look, this is the Russell Westbrook experience. We've seen it. making plays like these, getting into it with other players, not being a threat at all from 3-point line. But I want to defend him, though, because I thought he played good defense in this game. I thought he did a good job defensively on Anthony Edwards for a large chunk of the game, especially down the stretch. I do think he's been pretty solid for this Nuggets team. I kind of think about it like this. The Russ stuff, I think about it like this, especially when it comes to this Nuggets team. The Russ stuff, it's similar to me to like the Dwight Powell situation from a couple years ago, where it was like, why would I spend so much time shitting on Dwight Powell when I know who Dwight Powell is? Is there frustration? Sure, but I already know who Dwight Powell is. I'm not expecting Dwight Powell to do anything differently than what I already expect out of Dwight Powell. Who instead I'm upset at is the front office for putting our team in a position where Dwight Powell has to play X amount of minutes, right? That's the frustrating part. I feel pretty similarly in this Nuggets situation. Like, am I really going to be mad at Russell Westbrook for doing what we all expect Russell Westbrook to do every now and then? Am I really going to be mad at Zeke Naji for being bad? We already know Zeke Naji's bad. We already know that. We're already fully aware of that. Am I going to be mad at Peyton Watson for not being a threat at all from the 3-point line? No, we already know that. We already expect that. The Nuggets have done a horrific job building their team. They've done a terrible job. They get bailed out by the fact that Jokic is the best player on the planet. And that bails them out a lot of the time. So you're saying you want a closing 1 through 5 next year that includes Russ at point and Dwight Powell at the 5? Hell yeah. Let's make that happen. So anyways, I mean, this is the Russ thing. I feel like he has to play. Like, I do like him. I think he does some good stuff for this Nuggets team. They kind of need what he provides. Also, no Jamal Murray in this game, but they need what he provides. Yeah, I mean, this is what the scary thing is for the Nuggets. And full stop, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to pick the Nuggets to win a series. It really depends on who they play. But you've got so many different guys that, can you imagine that, like, you could already envision a scenario in which a game comes down to Peyton Watson hitting threes. Or like Christian Brown consistently knocking down threes. Or, yeah, Russell Westbrook, you're in the game. This is a big stretch. You need to step up. There's so many like 50-50 guys, more so like 30-70 guys, where I'm just like, ugh. If you're relying on that, you're in some big fucking trouble. Big trouble. So I do kind of want to defend Russ. Although this was an all-time blunder right here. Jokic was incredible last night. 60. I mean, it's just hilarious to me that if like the defense kind of didn't prevent him from, like, it's not the Lakers defense that completely prevents him from doing anything. If he really needed to, he could ramp it up and put up 35 to 40 points a game, I think. Maybe that's pushing it. But I think Jokic could lead the league in scoring if he put his head down and decided he was going to lead the league in scoring. Yeah, Ant had some bad turnovers. I mean, this was a bad turnover right here. And this is like, I want to believe in the Timberwolves. The way that they've played, the way that, they were dealing with some suspensions in this game, obviously, but the way Dante DiVincenzo has been shooting the ball recently, with how good Nickeil Alexander-Walker's been so far this season. Yeah, I want to be able to believe in a world in which this Timberwolves team has an argument for being like the second most scary team in the West besides the Thunder. But it all boils down, like, this is what cost the Timberwolves a trip to the finals last year. By and large, was Anthony Edwards, and I'm not talking about this play, I was talking about the turnover. Anthony Edwards' decision-making down the stretch, his lack of playmaking, the fact that you could really, really force him into bad predicaments by sending two people, like just double-teaming him, can throw him off so badly. And also, it helps that Luka and Kyrie just went God mode in that series. But Like game 2 was the Timberwolves had game 2. Game 2 was pretty much over. And then Ant had that turnover. That's a completely different series. All those games were close. You take away that turnover in game 2, it's 1-1 going back to Dallas instead of 2-0. I don't know. They need what he provides. It either works or it doesn't. Malone might not be the guy to make them a dynasty. Well, dynasty's off the table. Dynasty for the Nuggets is off the table. There's just, I don't. The only reason that we look at this Nuggets team and say, oh, yeah, the Nuggets, they can make the finals. They can win the West. Why not? It's because they have Jokic. That is it. That's it. Every game, or every series, we'll have the best player on the court. That's why you give them a chance. That's why you consider them. And that's the end of the discussion, really. Without Jokic playing team, maybe. Oh, without Jokic, this team's fucking trash. Not against OKC, though. OKC, you have an argument this season. Memphis seems destined for the play-in. Wow. I didn't even realize this was the case for the Grizzlies, that they are tied with the Timberwolves right now. Oh, my God. The Grizzlies really might make the play-in tournament. Holy shit. Hell of a catch, Adolis. Memphis, 19.5 back of the Thunder. They're the 6th seed currently. The Timberwolves, 19.5 back as well. The 7th seed. With the Clippers only a half game behind. And the Mavericks only 7 games. Grizzlies, yeah, horrible collapse. So anyways, a quick defense of Russell Westbrook, although it was a hilarious all-time blunder. These two teams, when they play, it's must-watch television. The Timberwolves fucking love it. They lick their chops. They love it. They love it. There was I saw a quote yesterday from Michael Malone talking about how if you go back and you watch Timberwolves games, they just play harder against the Nuggets. And they do. It's up to the Nuggets to match that intensity. The Timberwolves loves it. Ant gets going. Like, they love this matchup. They have fun in this matchup. Like, dude, Rudy, remember you hit that fucking fadeaway in Game 7 to ice them? Like, remember? That's hilarious. Let's go do it again. Let's go do it again. I would love another playoff series between these two. Last night, so I mentioned at the top of the stream, I rambled for a long time about how I've really been struggling since the trade, just like caring about the league, really, and especially lately, surprisingly. And I think a lot of that has to do with it just being the March period where it's like, all right, let's get to the playoffs. Let's get to the playoffs, right? But last night was a reminder to me what I've been saying all season long and what I really, really believe today, especially after this game. I think this postseason is going to be crazy. I do. I think we're doing all-time postseason, and I think we're going to get like that once-in-a-decade type of playoffs where it ends and you're like, holy fuck, that was incredible. Like, I do think the Thunder probably get through the West fairly easily, but I think the series along the way will be tremendous. I think pretty much every other series in the West, besides probably the one the Thunder are playing in, if I'm being honest with you, is going to be neck and neck. Like, it's going to be really difficult to predict. Out east, I like a Cavs Celtics, like that's a heavyweight bout. And I even think like Knicks, Celtics second round, like that's a crazy series for a second round series. Right? I even think like a Pacers Cavs series is interesting in round 2. But then a Cavs Celtics conference finals, a potential Thunder Celtics finals. I think Celtics would destroy the Knicks. I'd pick the Celtics to win that series, but I think it'd be fun. I know in the regular season they've owned them, but I think it'd be different in the playoffs. I think it would be fun. Yeah, Pacers, Detroit, first round. I mean, how many different brawls are we going to get over the course of that series? Even Bucks, Knicks. Like, I'd pick the Knicks for sure, but Bucks, Knicks, round one. Lakers, Cavs would be epic too. Do they play soon? Oh, you mean the finals? Oh, yeah, that ain't happening. So I was thinking it'd be fun to sort of try and rank these potential first round series. Which ones do we want to see the most? Which ones do we think would be the most fun? Let's start in the Western Conference, and I'm gonna put these down in a little document so we can maybe look back on this at the end of the playoffs or whatever. I love looking back at this stuff. I love looking. Calvin Booth is lucky that Nico exists. DQ, one of my predictions I went back and I looked at, one of my predictions for 2025 was that Michael Malone and Calvin Booth get fired. Is that on the table? So let's start in the East. Celtics versus Cavs versus whatever dog shit playing team they get has to be bottom of the list. I'd say Cavs versus playing team. Which series do we think would be less competitive? Cavs versus playing team or Celtics versus playing team? I actually think Celtics versus playing team. And I don't even want to pencil in playing teams, to be honest with you. You think Celtics would be more? Or wait, what question did I ask? I already forgot. Jesus Christ. But like a potential Cavs versus Hawks series versus a Celtics Magic series. I don't think either of them are. I don't think either of them will be competitive, to be honest with you. Now, do we feel kind of locked in on a 3-6? No, I think Pacers, Pistons, Bucks are all sort of in play for being the 6 seed. Knicks are locked in as the 6 seed, or the 3 seed. So they're playing the 6 seed. What do we think the best potential series there is? Oh, man, all three of those sound fun to me. Bucks without Dame is just a completely different conversation, right? Bucks without Dame is just completely different. I'd go Knicks versus Bucks is like the least entertaining of those three, although that is still sounds fun to me. Pacers, Pistons. I mean, that was a really fun series last year. Yeah, I know Giannis in the playoffs can't be counted out, but what sounds more fun to you guys? Knicks, Pistons, Knicks, Pacers, just off the top of your head. I think the Pistons get an automatic boost for being in the playoffs, right? Like Pistons already get a giant boost. It does kind of seem like it's going to be Pistons or Bucks. So we'll just keep it there, Pistons, Bucks, because it feels like the Pacers are the 4th seed. What would be a better 4-5 matchup? Pacers, Pistons, or Pacers, Bucks? Well, Pacers and Bucks fucking hate each other, so that's fun. Pacers, Pistons sounds like a blast. Yeah, Pacers, Pistons sounds incredible. I'm docking the Bucks just because I don't know about their injury stuff, and I haven't been super impressed with them to close out the season. So I'm not sure how. Do we think what potential series do we think is more exciting? Knicks, Pistons. I'm just imagining that, right? I'm imagining the Pistons. It's game 2. Isaiah Stewart's getting into it. The Garden's going crazy. Cade and Jalen Brunson, assuming Brunson's back, obviously. Cade and Jalen Brunson are sort of going blow for blow. That's pretty fucking exciting. Or Pacers, Pistons. Which ones do we think is more exciting out of those two options? Some random with the 5. For me, with Dame injury, final is set. Cavs versus Celtics, but I can see a world in which Cavs get a surprise knock. But Celtics are set 100%. I do agree. I think the Celtics are locked the fuck in. Taking Knicks Pistons. I do agree. Knicks Pistons sounds like a blast to me. Sounds like a blast. And then I'll go Pistons Pacers just below that. And those are our like realistic potential matchups. That sounds fun out east. We've covered all of them. So right now we have the most exciting potential first round matchup is Knicks versus Pistons. What would have to happen for that to happen? The Pistons are the 6th seed, which they're 1 game back of. Could happen for sure. Pistons Pacers. As it stands right now, that is what we would get in the 4-5 series. That sounds like a blast. Pacers Bucks. Those teams hate each other's guts. No Dame, but we also haven't seen Giannis in the playoffs in a couple of years, so that sounds fun. Pacers Bucks, we already talked about. Knicks Bucks, and I think the Knicks would win that series fairly comfortably, if I'm being honest with you. Then Cavs playing, Celtics playing. No, we're not doing 2nd, 3rd, 4th round because that sounds too much. The West is where things get really interesting. Here's where I'm excited. Here's where I'm excited to rank these. Here's where I'm excited. The West. Thunder are locked in as the 1 seed. Now, there's different, so it's different from the East because there's different play-in matchups that make it more fun. I'll say the Thunder versus any of the hospital garbage-ass teams. OKC versus SAC, Dallas, unfortunately, and Phoenix are all dog shit-sounding series to me, right? But OKC versus Clippers, Timberwolves, Grizzlies, Warriors, all of those teams definitely in the mix to be in the play-in tournament as it stands right now. Those are all interesting. Like I think OKC dominates those series, but it's at least a little bit more entertaining than if they played one of these sad, pathetic play-in teams, which I don't think they would. But OKC versus, oh man, that's kind of a crazy for being the 1 seed. Like, if you made me say what I think the best teams in the West currently, based off of the way that they've been playing, the best teams in the West outside of the Thunder, I would say Timberwolves and Clippers. So the fact that the Thunder will probably get one of those teams in their first round series is a little crazy to me. Dallas or Phoenix over Memphis, to be honest? No, I still think Memphis would be more entertaining. Although I know they've been a catastrophe lately. OKC versus Memphis. There's just so many options. OKC versus LA Clippers versus LA Clippers / Minnesota. Houston, do we think Houston is sort of locked in as the 2 seed? They're up 2 games right now on the Nuggets, 2.5 up on the Lakers. I wouldn't say locked in, but as it stands currently, let's sort of pretend they are. I mean, Houston gets the Clippers round 1. Who are you picking? Houston gets Minnesota in round 1. Who the hell are you picking? I would say Houston versus play-in team sounds very interesting to me. What out of all of these possibilities is the most entertaining round 1 series that we could really see? I think Nuggets Lakers round 1 sounds great to me. Lakers Warriors round 1 is hilarious. Oh my God. Can we get that? Those 2 teams play tonight, don't they? Or tomorrow night? Can we get that? Lakers Warriors round 1? Silver is salivating. Silver can't believe that that's a possibility. What would have to happen for a Lakers Clippers round 1 series? Timberwolves Nuggets number 1. I agree. That's like appointment viewing at this point. Minnesota versus Denver is the best possible series for me, followed, I think, by Lakers Warriors. Just because of narratives. And that would be a really interesting series to watch. I don't think the Grizzlies are a fun series. The way that things are trending, who in their right mind is picking the Grizzlies to win a playoff series? You know? Grizzlies, Nuggets, round 1. Who in their right mind is picking Memphis to win that? I think the Grizzlies are going straight to the play-in. I mean, that's crazy, man, that they're... Jesus. The Suns are not officially out, but they're now a game and a half back of the Kings. 2 games back of the Mavs. Some random at the 5. My money's on Grizz 8 seed. Wolves have easiest schedule in the NBA. They get in the 5 seed. Do they really? Let's see Minnesota's schedule to close out. We got like 6 games left for every team. Brooklyn, Philly, Milwaukee, Memphis, Brooklyn, Utah. Wow. All right, yeah. I mean, there's, I think 4-2 at the very least. At the very least, they're 5-1, maybe even 6-0. Like, they really might win out there. That Grizzlies game is going to be pretty important, all things considered. The Grizzlies, to close out the season, got Miami, Detroit, tough one. Charlotte. Can I be honest with you guys? I mentioned at the top how little I've paid attention to the NBA. Not how little I pay attention to the NBA, but how I haven't watched as much as I used to over the last month. I know nothing about what's going on with the Charlotte Hornets. I know nothing. I don't know who's playing for them. I know that they're dealing with a ton of injuries, but like I don't even know what's going on in Charlottesville. Like what's going on in Charlotte land. I have no clue. I know LaMelo's been out. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, who's getting run for them currently? I mean, both these teams. Utah Jazz are starting KJ Martin, Filipowski. I know Filipowski's been pretty solid. Sensabaugh, Johnny Juzang, Isaiah Collier, Oscar Tshiebwe, Svi Mihailuk, Jaden Springer, Keontae George. Good God. Good Lord. Miles Bridges, Mark Williams, Seth Curry, Josh Green, KJ Simpson. All right, that's not the worst. Taj Gibson, Diabate, Saloon, Nurkic, Daquan Jeffries, Nick Smith Jr. Oh my God, Josh Smith just made an unbelievable play. My Lord. That actually wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought I was going to click on that and there was going to be players I had never even heard of on that list. Which, if you go to Philly, that is what's the case is. Philly's got guys who have never, names that you've never even heard before out on the court. So I think Minnesota-Denver is the most exciting potential first-round matchup. Very, very attainable. Golden State versus the Lakers is great. I mean, Lakers-Nuggets round 1 is great, too. Where would that rank? Would that be just a little bit below Golden State versus the Lakers? I mean, that would be a fun series right there. Mavs versus anybody. Lakers own the Nuggets this year. Total flips since AD left. I do think playoffs would be different, but yeah, I would pick the Lakers in that series for sure. Houston, whoever Houston plays is going to be an interesting series. Like, I feel like no matter what, whoever Houston plays in the playoffs, I feel like we're going to get down to the end of the game and it's going to be like a 4-point game. And unfortunately for Houston, my feeling is it's going to be a 4-point game and we're going to be thinking to ourselves, how the fuck is Houston going to score here? And that's going to lead to their demise. But it's going to be incredibly physical. It's going to be kind of a slog. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Like that Rockets Lakers game a few nights ago. Great game down the stretch. Really fun to watch. But again, you got down the stretch and was like, all right, who's scoring here? Who's scoring? In a lot of ways, their best offense sometimes is just accidentally giving the ball to Amen Thompson, and he, does some crazy shit. Shangoon. I'm pretty pumped about that. But talking about this, I think it's going to be incredible. I think we're going to get great first round series from both conferences. I think in the East, we're lining up just heavyweight conference finals. Cavs Celtics is just a heavyweight bout. Which, full disclosure, I'd pick the Celtics right now, but that would be a great series, I think. How many losses do you think OKC will have to Western Conference Finals? Up until the Western Conference Finals? Or through the Western Conference Finals? Up until it, maybe one, honestly. The Thunder will probably sweep whoever they play in round one. Maybe they drop a game. If they play the Clippers or Timberwolves, maybe they drop a game or two. Round two, again, maybe they drop a game or two. I don't know. I'm really thinking the Thunder kind of cruise. Lakers, OKC in the conference finals slightly. Definitely possible. I mean, if the season were to end today, the Lakers would have to play the Thunder in round two. I'm not picking the Lakers in that series. But if the Lakers were to move up to 3, let's just swap the Lakers and Nuggets. Lakers get Grizzlies round 1. I'm picking the Lakers in a sweep, probably, there. Lakers get winner of Rockets, whoever they play, round 2. I'd pick them. I think it's definitely possible for them to make the conference finals, depending on how the bracket goes for them. I've been pondering so hard this week. If a vampire bites a zombie, does the vampire turn into a zombie, or does that zombie turn into a vampire, or do they become each other? Well, what is zombie blood, right? Vampires feed off of human blood, but a zombie is not a human. I'm sure the blood type is much different. It would really kind of depend on the type of zombie that we're talking about in this fictional universe, but a zombie blood, I think, would infect the vampire. So I think the vampire would in turn turn into a zombie. Now we're all of a sudden talking about a zombie vampire. So now all of a sudden we have a new threat because a zombie vampire is fucking stuff up. But the thing about the zombie vampire is when you're a zombie, your brain just kind of turns off, right? So zombie vampire, I'm just imagining him, I'm hungry, I need to get out there, wandering out into an open field. Like you often see zombies in open fields, wandering out into an open field during daytime. The sun melts his skin, therefore the vampire melts. Feels like they would almost just kind of kill themselves constantly. So that's kind of where I'm at. Vampires are already undead, though. No, that's fair. But they feed off human blood. You get what I'm saying? A zombie blood's not the same as human blood. And I think vampires are smart. Vampires wouldn't bite into a zombie to begin with. But if it becomes desperate enough, maybe some random with the 20. I think Jalen Green is what's dragging Rockets down. In my opinion, they should come off him. There will be suitors and go all in on a score. If I were a Rockets GM, I would throw Jalen Green and 25 picks for Tyrese Maxey or less for Kobe White. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to go get a lead guy in the offseason if they're really wanting to contend, honestly. But I hate that fucking Shams goes on Pat McAfee show to break news. Pat McAfee show is so terrible. But I'm telling you, don't sleep on Jalen Green having a good postseason. I can see it. I can see Jalen Green turning it on in the playoffs. Absolutely. I think it's going to be great. Like, again, I think we're sort of lining up a great conference finals between the Celtics and Cavs, a potential unbelievable finals, Thunder, Cavs, Celtics, if that's what it ends up being. And pretty much every single stat tells us it's going to be that. All historical, every like historical metric that there is tells us it's going to be that. Vamps of sufficient strength would control zombies. Also, vampires only feed on living blood. Zombies are reanimated corpses. Exactly. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with that conversation. So we need a zombie apocalypse to take care of the vampire population, you say? Yeah, I mean, I think, the best way to attack a vampire population is to not give them blood to eat. Now, the question is, does that create a desperate vampire situation? In which case, do we then get aggressive vampires? Now, that's where things really start to get dicey. That's where things really start to get interesting. Yeah, the thing against the Rockets is that they're just, and I'm assuming, Carlo, you're talking about the Rockets when you say don't underestimate the mental frailty of a young, inexperienced team. I'm assuming you're talking about the Rockets. That's what's concerning about them. OKC, okay, I don't put OKC in the same boat. They were the 1 seed last year. They played in an incredibly difficult playoff series. Some ran with the 5. Tyrese Maxey, criminally underrated, better than Trey Halliburton. I would even take him above Brunson, third after Luka and SGA. I don't know about Brunson, but I don't know if I would say Maxey's underrated, to be honest with you. I think most people know how good he is. All-time season, that first playoff loss, the what if sink in. I disagree. I think, and I could be wrong. And if I'm just wanting competitive basketball and like really fun, entertaining series, yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that the Thunder don't cruise through this conference the way I think they might. They're just head and shoulders better than everyone else, is the thing. I don't believe the Thunder role players for 4 series. Who do you believe in the West over them now? That's really the thing. Who in the West are you believing over them? Like, if you don't trust the Thunder, who are you trusting in the Western Conference? The field. Okay, but which team? Like who? Healthy Mavs? Well, they're not healthy. Luke Kennard. Lakers. So you trust the Lakers role players? Why? Like, understand what that series is going to look like. And those two teams are about to play each other soon. I don't think the Thunder are going to show the Lakers anything. Jared Vanderbilt, hope you're hitting threes, buddy. Gabe Vincent, hope you're hitting threes at a good clip, buddy. Even Dodo, hope you're hitting threes at a good clip. In fact, Dodo, you might have to like dribble a couple times. What would be the most potential shocking loss in the playoffs? The Thunder losing before the conference finals. That's it. How many games will Lakers OKC go? 5? I know those guys are good shooters. The thing is the Thunder will live with that, and they'll force those guys to win. That's a different dynamic entirely. Wolves and Nuggets have the best chances to upset, in my opinion. I mean, I'm if you could come back from the future and say Kawhi finishes a playoff series, like Kawhi is healthy in the playoffs and it's Kawhi Leonard, that to me is a team right there. That to me is a team I look at and I'm like, oh, they've got defenders. They've got the big 7-footer. They've got 2 great scorers. I'm not worried down the stretch of a game if Kawhi has the ball in his hands. If the Lakers don't turn the ball over and if both Chet and J-Dub don't rise up, which is a big if, the Lakers can make it a game 7. I mean, yeah, sure. If those things happen, yes. Now, I agree. Harden's a difficult one to trust, but I definitely trust Kawhi. Kawhi fully healthy. I don't want to play the Clippers if I'm a top team in the West. No, not at all. Dude, Leiter's dealing. Norm Powell, absolutely. You really think healthy Clippers could be healthy Lakers? Yeah, for sure. I definitely do think they could. Would I pick them to beat the Lakers? I don't know. But I definitely think they could beat them. Why not? I think it's all like everything besides the Thunder being the best team in the West is up for grabs. Like maybe eliminate the Grizzlies from contention there. But Clippers, Timberwolves, Warriors, Lakers, Nuggets, Rockets, you can make arguments for any of those teams being the second best team in the West right now. I even think you can make arguments for the Rockets. Well, yeah, the Kings are trash. That goes without being said. Kings, Mavericks, Grizzlies, now I'm putting into this mix. Suns, I'm not even putting in the conversation. Is it selfish of me? You know, obviously I root for the Mavs to make the playoffs, but ultimately, like, I think a Clippers Thunder series is really interesting that I almost don't want the Mavericks to rob NBA fans of that. Is that fucked up to say? Like, I almost don't want the Mavericks to rob the NBA fandom at large of that the potential fun of that series. Like, I don't want the Mavericks to rob a potential Timberwolves Thunder first round series. Steph looks locked in. If playoff Jimmy comes through, they can be a problem. Yeah, the Warriors, absolutely. Absolutely, the Warriors are part of it. Even though I will say, since Jimmy's come to Golden State, we haven't really seen him turn on that, like, oh, Jimmy can take over a playoff game type of mode yet, which I would want to see at this point. So I'm right with the 2. To be honest, Rockets versus Grizz will be interesting. That actually would be a pretty interesting first round series for sure. Because it's like this young, inexperienced Rockets team going up against this falling apart at the seams Grizzlies team that has been in playoff battles. Am I crazy to say that Butler is washed? I mean, he's probably not who he was a couple of years ago, but I guess we'll see. The playoffs will be it. That's why you go get Jimmy Butler. It's the playoffs. Warriors have a chance. A chance at being the second best team in the West, yeah. That's how I'm approaching it. That's how good I think the Thunder are. That's how confident I am in them throughout this postseason. That, for me, the argument is, who's the second? Can we get like a stabilizer on this camera? I mean, the center field camera is shaking so bad in this Rangers game. I'm getting motion sickness just watching the game. Can we get like a stabilizer? Is that a thing? Like, how is it 2025 and we can't stabilize these fucking cameras? We just got some poor guy holding the camera. The wind's blowing 50 miles an hour. Thunder will choke. Just watch. All right. Braun goes down, Luka can carry, vice versa. Shea goes down, cooked. Okay, like I don't factor in injuries like that when we're talking about this stuff, because that goes without being said. You know, that goes without being said. Thunder are choking out the competition. That is the choking that will happen. Pretty much. Some ran with the 2. No coincidence. Steph is better since the Jimmy trade. Oh yeah, Jimmy's opened up a lot of that stuff, which is why if there is another level Jimmy can tap into if he is just holding like some of the scoring stuff for the playoffs. They become a very, very dangerous team. Absolutely. I mean, they are already a dangerous team. Thoughts on Josh Hamilton? What are the thoughts I should have? I haven't kept up with his story. It's pretty fucked up, isn't it? Didn't he do some really fucked up shit to his daughter? Pretty sad. I hope he's getting his life in order. I hope he's getting his life in order because, man, what a joy he was to watch play baseball. People underestimate that iHeart and Caruso have been super impactful this season. They're like 50-6 with iHeart this year. Yeah, dude, people are weirdly underestimating the Thunder. Like, I mean, what else do you need to see? They have been killing people. Like, this is historically speaking, statistically speaking, an all-time great regular season. This is one of the best teams we've ever seen by a lot of the numbers. There is a real chance they finish with 70 wins. They just have to win 7 more games. 7-0, the last 7 games. Do you think the Thunder will run through the West like the Celtics ran through the East last playoffs? I do. I'd be surprised if they don't, honestly. Better than the Celtics, though? I mean, the regular season's been better than the Celtics, yes. Now, if the Thunder played the Celtics in the finals, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, the Mavericks have beat the 12 of their losses. 3 of them have been to the Mavs. What the Mavs went 3-1 against the Thunder this year. That's hilarious. Thunder got the best player in the world. That should be enough in every West series. The finals is where J-Dub and Chet really need to lock in. Do you think the Lakers will make it to the Western Conference Finals this year? I think that there's an easy pathway for them, yeah. I really don't know. I mean, the West, I think, is like a total crapshoot outside of the Thunder. I really do. It'll really come down. It'll be like Thunder Celtics finals would absolutely go game 7. It would be an elite matchup. I think we're kind of due that. Haven't had a game 7 in the finals in 9 years. I think we're kind of due that. Deep down in a game 7 scenario, you think SGA is the best player on the floor versus the Lakers? Is possible? Just curious. Get going, Josh Smith. Go, ball. Go, ball. You got to score, Jock. You got to score, buddy. Good shit. Rangers up 1-0. A game 7 scenario, do I think SGA... Well, I trust Luka in a game 7, obviously. That goes without being said. I trust LeBron in a game 7. I trust Shea in a game 7. For me, it would be more so... Yeah, I guess maybe I'd worry about J-Dub in a game 7. I'm not worried about Shea in a game 7. At all. Am I a sick fan that wants to see what happens if the Mavs make it to the playoffs and beat the Thunder and see what happens next? Why would that make you a sick fan? How long is this Thunder's window? Haven't looked at contracts really, but don't they have like 3 maxes to pay out soon? Yeah, the salary cap rules will make it to where windows probably aren't as long as people think. Like the Celtics window might not be much longer, honestly, with their contract situation. You said previously that teams will make Rui shoot. Isn't that the case with J-Dub, Chet, Caruso, and Wallace in a potential Western Conference Finals between those two? Yeah, but J-Dub has to play better than he did last postseason. I mean, that goes without being said. J-Dub has to play better than he did last postseason, if the Thunder want to win the West. If they get the same J-Dub they got last year, they are in some trouble. But I believe that he'll be better. I believe Chet will be better. Chet was also terrible. J-Dub and Chet are more like the Thunder are going to force your one-dimensional role guys to do other things outside of their comfort zone. the Thunder have a bunch of versatile players, right? They're similar to the Celtics in a lot of ways offensively. J-Dub can shoot threes, but he can also drive, attack, finish at the rim, create a shot for himself, good playmaker. Chet at 7 feet tall, very skilled and talented player. Caruso, yeah, but Caruso's, Caruso would definitely be a bit of a concern in a playoff series. Some ran it with the 5. I really thought before the trade deadline we were going to win it all. Oh, man, I really hope Kyrie will come back. Still trust this roster's potential. Yeah. If AD gets close to 100%, they're not that far off from the other non-Thunder teams. I mean, not without Kyrie. If Kyrie were here, we're having a different conversation entirely. Or maybe I could talk myself into the Mavericks being a thorn in the side of the Thunder at the very least. If you put Dort on Luka, J-Dub on Braun, who goes on A. Reeves? I mean, the Thunder have a ton of perimeter defenders. Like, they're not worried about it. There's definitely teams in the West that are like, fuck, who's guarding Reeves? I mean, there's teams in the West that are like, wait, who's guarding LeBron? Yeah, you've got Caruso, obviously. You've got Case and Wallace. OKC is just incredible, man. I mean, it just is. It's not a knock on any other team in the West. I'm really just trying to point out how incredibly good the Thunder have been. That's really it. And I think it's been a kind of a weird year in the West. Hey, maybe it's a different conversation if the Nuggets didn't have one of the worst front offices in the league. Some ran with the $5 about OKC. They are playing more physical in regular season because they are young in playoffs. Everyone is physical. They won't have the advantage. They'll still be much more physical than a lot of teams in the playoffs. Absolutely. Is the league just fucked? They did it without using like any picks. Maybe. Yeah, the Thunder will not have a Josh Giddey on the floor at any point this postseason. Giddey's having a good year, but he was just atrocious in the playoffs last year. But also, like, Chet was bad in that series. He couldn't hit a shot. And also, Chet was, like, trending that way for months. Some ran with another 5. They're still my favorite. I think they're the best, and the money's on them. All I'm saying is not as clear as the record shows. I mean, I think it is, personally. They're so damn good. We saw this last year with the Celtics when the team has a historical net rating, maybe believe it. Yeah, and they're in a similar spot as the Celtics. Granted, they didn't have the long sort of history of like legit postseason success, which the Celtics did have in the lead up to that. But they had the same thing going where like people just didn't believe in the Celtics because we'd seen it flame out in the playoffs. You know, we're not like this bombing threes. How successful can that be in the playoffs? The shots aren't falling. And all season long, I was like, guys, this Celtics team's fucking incredible. Like, we should believe them. You think JJ Redick will be a playoff riser? I think the Lakers will be a really good playoff team. For sure. The net rating stuff reminds me of when San Antonio Spurs were god tier efficient and won 67 games, and OKC beat them in 2016. Yeah, but that Thunder team was incredible too. There's not a 2016 Thunder team in the West. Do you think Shea is going to get those stupid fouls in the playoffs? Shea will do Shea things in the postseason. Absolutely. Weren't his free throw shooting numbers the exact same in the playoffs last year? I remember I looked it up once. The finals baby Thunder or this Thunder team? Oh, this Thunder team is better than the finals baby Thunder. Did you talk about the pitiful Pelicans shutting down everyone for flag? What's there to talk about the pitiful Pelicans? SJ stands were complaining about Luka's free throw attempts in March. I have found this very annoying back and forth that pops up on my Twitter timeline every now and then about free throws. Like, it's the most annoying shit in the world, especially now where it's just like I watched pretty much every single Lakers game. I think I have watched every Lakers game except the Grizzlies game a couple nights ago. Like, Luke has been living at the free throw line. It's almost as if these like really unguardable players get fouled a lot. I've just hated this back and forth. It's been so fucking annoying. So annoying, this back and forth. It makes me wish that Luka fan club, I wish I could have muted. Like, how is there not a way to mute communities? Isn't it wild that SGA is still minus 2,500 to win the MVP after last night? He's winning it. It's a runaway. But Jokic was incredible last night. I mean, dude, it's just when a guy's having a season like Shea's having and they have a legit chance to win 70 games, I don't think they will. I think they'll drop a game to the Lakers because I don't think they're going to play. They're not going to show the Lakers a single thing. Like, knowing this Thunder team, they literally have pretty much nothing to play for from here on out. They are not going to show the Lakers anything. So I think they'll drop one. We're talking about a team that'll win like 68 games. So they sit people during those two matchups. No, I think they'll play them, but they just won't. You know, maybe the way that they are prepping to guard Luka and LeBron and Reeves in a potential playoff setting is not what you'll see in these matchups, if that makes sense. And knowing Dagnall, that's exactly what's going to happen. If Luka plays 65 games, you think he'd be first team? Yeah, the way it's played out, the All-NBA teams are going to be really weird with the amount of guys who are missing time and stuff like that. But I do think Luka would end up being first team. Would you have Luka greater than Mitch? It's actually a good question. I mean, I think Luka, especially over like the last month, if you were just to say like if it was Luka over the past month, I definitely think he's been better than Donovan Mitchell. Some ran with the $5. Which elite player does not go to the line a lot? Kobe, SGA, Luka, they all go to the line a lot, and SGA is that good. I know, that's what I've been saying the whole time. That's why I don't even partake in these stupid ass debates about free throw shooting. It's like, yes, these guys are all-time great scorers. They're hard to guard. You foul guys who are hard to guard. Luka's been 10 times better than Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, I mean, especially recently. At this point, is Powell going to retire with us? Probably. Powell will be a part of your Dallas Mavericks lives for probably a very long time. I think he's probably part of the organization in some way, immediately following retirement. Who did they announce? I know they announced Rookies of the Month and Defensive Players of the Month. Did they announce Players of the Month? Because Luka's got a pretty good chance to win that, doesn't he? Like, what's his competition in the West? Oh, Shea won it. Okay. I was thinking it was either going to be Shea or... Oh, my God. Shea had 34 points a game, 15-1 in March. Holy shit. Kobe White. Yeah, Kobe White's been incredible. F- 15-1 in March. It's pretty hard to... It's pretty hard to go against that, honestly. Paolo definitely had an argument in the East. Kobe White, top 2025 appearance in August on the preceding slightly top 100. Well, it depends if the Mavs trade for him or not. If they do, yes. If they don't, probably in the 50s. Saw that you watch games and have seen peak Luka. How does Luka look physically nowadays recently? I think recently he looks much better from a physical perspective. He's played differently. And this has been something that's sort of been building up. You know, he drives less. He shoots more. He's not as relentless with his rim pressure. And I don't know how much of that is a physical thing or how much of that is a man. I've really found my three-point shot, so I'm just going to shoot more of these. But yes, physically speaking, he looks better than he has all season. That goes that being said. Think Mavs get Kobe White this offseason for a package of Clay and Najee? I mean, that's like, why the fuck would the Bulls say yes to that? I think like Kobe White's probably going to be way more expensive than people think. Dude, put this guy away, Ryder. Do you honestly think the Kyrie injury happens if they don't trade Luka? I mean, who the hell knows what happens if they don't trade Luka? Would you trade Cam Johnson and 2 first-round picks for Kobe White and Vooch? Is that something that's talked about? That's kind of interesting. Just made it up. I guess if I'm the Bulls, I'm like, why do I do that? That's kind of an interesting trade, though, for the Nets. Because they've got a lot of picks to play around with. That's interesting. Avdia's been great lately, yeah. I mean, he had an outside case for rookie or player of the month. Yeah, that was nasty by Leiter. All right. If you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. We will be live on playback.tv/slightlybiased tonight to watch the Mavs game. Can't wait. Mavs Hawks. Yeah. Then we'll be back here on Friday for some more slightly early action. The playoffs are right around the corner, and I can't wait. I think once the playoffs start, we're talking about the playoffs. I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about Pistons Knicks round 1, possibly. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, I'm literally would drop everything that I'm doing and watch every single game. Right? I'm thinking Nuggets, Timberwolves part 2, and I'm like, dude, I'm dropping everything. Or part 2, like part 12. What? How many times have those teams played each other? I'm thinking Lakers, Warriors round 1. And I'm like, whoa. Oh, that's appointment viewing. I mean, you're not, when those games are on TV, you're not doing anything else. Right? Mavericks Kings playing game. Like, drop everything that you're doing. That's the most important game that we've had all season long. Out of the East, please support my home team, Knicks. Can I be honest with you guys about what I'm kind of rooting for happens in the East without you guys yelling at me? Because this is honestly kind of what I want. Because I feel as though we are really due an all-time great finals. I find part of me rooting for the Celtics. Like, I think deep down that's what I want to have happen. Because I think a Celtics Thunder... Now, do I want the Celtics to win just from a pure, like, go Celtics standpoint? No. However, I think a Celtics Thunder series would be so incredible. So incredible. That I feel as though it's just like, I kind of want to see. I want to see it. It goes to show how open the league is, because there like once upon a time, not that long ago, we already knew what the finals was going to be. Like, we already knew. There was no conversations to be had. We know who's going to be in the finals. And then as fans, we were kind of like, we kind of deserve it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be so much fun to see Luka back in the finals with LeBron. Like, don't get me wrong. That would be fucking great. I don't see it. I don't see it happening is a thing. So have the two best teams make it totally normal. Yeah, but I feel like in years past, I'd root against that just for like parity and there being chaos. But I don't find myself rooting against that this year, to be honest with you. As a Cavs fan, it feels like since the Boston game, no one believes we have a shot. I definitely think the Cavs have a shot. Which is Cavs Celtics conference finals, sign me up. But I would pick the Celtics ultimately. I mean, the Celtics are a machine and they look incredible lately. This actually makes me I know you can bet on obviously winners of certain conferences, but you can also bet on specific matchups. NBA odds, FanDuel. Not sponsored by FanDuel. Go. Oh, 85 off the bat. I thought Simeon shit on that. NBA Finals. Wow. So, I mean, Celtics Thunder's plus 180 is a matchup. That's really... Shams bomb. Are you trolling me right now? NBA is looking into Memphis's Ja Morant using finger gun motions toward the Golden State Warriors bench last night. Bro. Can we be serious for a bit, please? Can we be serious?
Some form of gesture.
Draymond, the same person who got mad at Vanderbilt. Okay, so
There, you can make that what you want, and then Buddy Hield kind of responded.
Draymond crying for a tech on this.
Make that what you want, and then
Buddy Hield was doing it though. All right, guys, chill out in the chat, please. I don't like the verbiage being used. John Morant just retweeted this. Ja is such an interesting player. Referring of John Morant taunting Steph Curry in the Warriors bench. I mean, some of the reports coming out about the Taylor Jenkins stuff is not a good look for John necessarily. Draymond is so fucking insane. I'm actually, you know what? I'm doing something real quick here. I'm bumping Lakers Warriors up to potential number 1. First round series. I mean, on top of just how it's LeBron versus Steph and then Luka in the mix, and I do think that'd be a fun competitive series. Draymond just being batshit insane. Draymond being batshit insane just like adds to the fun of this whole thing. Grizzlies haven't beaten a team with a winning record since February 2nd. Oh my God. Surely they don't suspend Ja for this, right? I mean, come on. Let's move on. Let's move on with our life. Right? Am I crazy for thinking that? Can we just move on? Do we have to do this? Look at him, man. This is one of the funniest Draymond clips. Oh, dude, he's so crazy. Come on. The only thing about the Lakers Warriors potential series is we've seen Draymond in a playoff series against the Mavs and Luka be buddy. We know he's buddy with LeBron. So maybe there wouldn't be as much drama as I may be anticipating, but wasn't he doing that to Paul George? Which is worse, Ja finger guns or Luka DoorDash expenses? Luka's DoorDash expenses. Oh my God. On one hand, it's really dumb how hard they're going after Ja for doing finger guns, but he's got to know there's a microscope on him. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, come on, Ja. Come on, brother. Definitely agree there. But also at the same time, like really, like we're going to suspend him for doing a finger gun animation, like a finger gun emote. Like, let's get a little serious, right? Like, come on. Like this was maybe a story on Twitter. I didn't even know that happened until right now. This is maybe a story on Twitter, but like now you've really drawn attention to it. Maybe just like send him a text or some shit like, hey, dude, come on. Chill out with that, please. Lighter is him, absolutely. Thank you all for coming out. All the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Wednesday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps me out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be live tonight on playback.tv/slightly biased to talk about or to watch the Mavs game. And we'll be back on Friday morning with another slightly early episode. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll chat with you all later. Bye.